The Justin Robert Young program brought to you as always by everybody who supports us at payjurydaily.com. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another edition of the Justin Robert Young podcast. I'm here for you, though. We're watching together. We are hanging out together. We have a great show here for you coming up. I'm gonna tell you a little story. I'm gonna tell you a little story about a thing that happened around my hood. Around my neighborhood when I came back from Austin. It's apparently made citywide news. We'll see whether or not it creates national news. And we got some emails. We got some emails for you. What do you say we go ahead and get started, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Justin Robert Young podcast. My name is Justin Robert Young. Oh, I feel refreshed. I feel coiled and full of energy. I'm actually going to start recording a thing that I've been working on for a little while today. Can't say a lot about it because the more I say about it, the less I do. But I'm very excited. I feel like this is one of those days where I feel good to be an independent creator, working on something for a while, starting to put down the tracks. Hopefully you guys can hear it very, very soon. But in the meanwhile, I want to tell you guys a story about coming home from Austin at the end of last week. It's Friday. Get dropped off around the corner from my house. And I walk by and I see a flyer. In fact, I'm going to read for you the flyer that I saw. It says in red text, "This smooth ride is brought to you by the @Pothole Vigilantes. Thanks to your support to fill the pesky pothole at these cross streets. If you appreciate our work, please continue to donate. For photos of our past work, follow us on Instagram @Pothole Vigilantes. All donations will be used to fill potholes in Oakland." And lo, they show their handiwork. The sign is right by a picture that they took of two gigantic potholes that are now filled. They're already filled in there. So the first thing I thought was, oh my God, what a great idea. I'm so excited that people are taking this upon themselves. They are bettering their community without the need for red tape or oversight. This is what I like to think about of acting locally. Our own world is so dominated by the things that happen right in front of us. If we talk about a moment that we might be having in our modern culture where we are not trusting authority, then on what level is that totally driven by the fact that there is something left to be desired with the authoritarians? How much do we trust our local government if our local government can't do something that we find to be simple, whether or not it is? My second thought was, because they had a QR code for Venmo, hell no. I'm not... Just because you filled in my potholes doesn't mean I'm going to click on your malware link. But apparently, they are not there to scam people out of their money by filling into potholes and then stealing their identities. They are indeed out here in these streets. It has become little Oakland legend over the last few days. They have a great social media game. It is on Instagram. They were on the Oakland subreddit today asking for places that they could go and fill in potholes. They posted today another ton, a literal ton of mix that they got. So this is this. Well, you want to know what? This is our story. What do you say we get into it? Ton of mix that they got. So this is this. Well, you want to know what? This is our story. What do you say we get into it? We read now from an article posted by ABC 7 News out here in the Bay Area. Research from the transportation nonprofit TRIP finds that rough roads contribute to more than $1,000 in damage for the average driver in Oakland and San Francisco area every year. Oh, Jesus, really? $1,000 per person to the average? Oh, I guess if you average everything out. That somebody has a crazy accident or something that like rips off their bumper and that costs a lot, but that it averages out to $1,000 for the average driver in the Oakland, San Francisco area. That's interesting. An anonymous group, though, is taking the issue by fixing potholes on their own in Oakland. Ask the so-called pothole vigilantes, a duo, about what they're doing late night in the Oakland streets, and they'll say community service. Quote one of the vigilantes, "We love the city. We hope that they fill potholes faster. And if they are not going to do it, we will do it ourselves. We've lived in a few other places. None of them have been as bad in terms of road repair as Oakland. For the past 3 weeks, these two men who don't want to be identified have been taking up the task of filling in potholes. They have so far filled 6, mostly near Lake Merritt. How are they doing it? Well, quote, literally, you just buy mix in the bag. You pour it in the pothole, you taper it down, you drive over it right away, and it's done. You don't even have to mix it. His partner says that they buy their mix from the same quarry that the city buys from. So, quote, I would assume that this is a safe bet that this is up to the code if they are buying it. But in an email to ABC 7 News' Sean Mayer, a spokesman for the Department of Transportation here in Oaktown, says this kind of activity tells us what we want to hear from, or tells us what we often hear from our community. They are frustrated and fed up with the pavement conditions in their neighborhood. We can't condone and do not recommend that residents do this work themselves, not least because it raises safety issues while people are working in the streets. But according to the vigilantes, they are doing the work of the community. Quote, we knocked on a few doors to see if other neighbors thought this was a good idea. 8 out of the 10 people that we asked donated money, so we were like, wow, 8 out of 10. We're on to something. I, for one, would like to say that I support the Oakland Vigilantes, the pothole Oakland. I guess Oakland Vigilantes sounds different. It's the pothole Vigilantes. I'm for the pothole Vigilantes. And I hope that they continue to do it. I don't know. Like, look, here's where it goes wrong. I will say this. Here's where it goes wrong. If this is not quite as simple as they have made it out to be, and now all of a sudden, all the potholes that they are filling starts, getting ripped up for whatever reason, then they will not be very popular. They will be less than popular. They will indeed be people that are just throwing rocks on the street and asking for money to do so. I will continue to monitor this situation because, like I said, it's right around the corner from my place. So I walk by those potholes every day. Oh, and I'm going to be keeping an eagle eye. But until then, folks, they are the vigilantes. Not that we deserve, but the ones we need right now. And now, I will continue to monitor this situation because, like I said, it's right around the corner from my place. So I walk by those potholes every day. Oh, and I'm going to be keeping an eagle eye. But until then, folks, they are the vigilantes. Not that we deserve, but the ones we need right now. I am not the pothole vigilantes. I'm going to tell you that right now. How could I be? I was in Oakland when it happened. I was in Austin, rather. I could not have filled in those potholes right around the corner from my house. Impossible. How would it? How, Sway? How, Sway? Not that we deserve, but the ones we need right now. And now, get Domino's and fill them up with the pizza. Hey, man, get me some pizza. Hey, fill it up with some pizza. Shit, now I just want to hear that pizza song. P-I-Z-Z-A. I want pizza. Mary, Kate, Ashley. Yeah, this one. Hands up for a classic.
Okay, guys, we've cleaned out the refrigerator. I think we're just about ready to build the perfect pizza.
Pizza!
P-I-Z-Z-A.
Pizza!
Did I happen to say?
I want pizza!
P-I-Z-Z-A.
I want pizza!
Pizza! Hey! Are you ready to play?
That's a banger in any era. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the email. Now. Oh. Fuck that one up. Fuck that one up. Yorp. Mm-hmm. And now. Email. I should have didn't do the email thing. That's that email thing. All right. You can always go ahead and email the show, jurydaily@gmail.com. Again, jurydaily@gmail.com. Ken wrote in about our story about Canadians being the biggest bullshit artists. He writes, I can barely add. Please don't tell my boss, but I'm dangerously unqualified for my job. I'm just glad science was able to finally prove what degenerate assholes we all are. Standing on guard for thee, Ken. Well, thank you. And then we also got a couple guesses on the John Teasdale locksmith tools. So if you didn't listen to yesterday's episode, my co-creator for the Contender in Action News, John Teasdale, he locked his keys in his car after an 8-hour drive from San Diego, locked his keys in his goddamn car when he was right outside my apartment. Got charged $95. So I asked you guys, because we were able to look up exactly how much the tools that were used to break into his car cost. Sean writes, I haven't looked on Amazon, but I assume that the two tools are the inflatable bag thing that looks like a blood pressure cuff and a Slim Jim or a stick. All in, I would say it's $18. Well, Sean, you were dead on for both the tools. What was used was it basically is just a little sliver of an inflatable balloon thing. So it does kind of look like a blood pressure contraption. But you inflate it, that basically like removes the door just that little bit that it needs to from the frame. And then there was a stick, a little bendable stick that could go in there and just basically like open the door. But $16 is too cheap. Unfortunately, it was not that expensive. But my man, Dick Rand Van Huntingtaint of the Connecticut Von Huntingtaints, one and the same. Dick Rand wrote right on the money, $44.46. It is an access tool, Quick Max long reach tool by IBR Tools that is $34.30. That's really the expensive thing, is this little, finger, this like elongated, strong enough that it can push a lock, but or snap one backwards, or that but also flexible enough that it can bend. That you don't want to use a hanger. A hanger would be okay with some of them where it's like you're getting the top of it. There's also a cool technique with a string where you can like put the string in and then slowly tighten it so it's tightened up on the little notch if it's a pull-up thing. But John's was not a pull-up. You got to use one of these things, or at least if you want to be like a pro. And then there's the Steck Big Easy Non-Marring Wedge by Steck, and that is cheap, $10.41. So $44.46. I guess when you look at it like that, you're like, oh my God, why did I pay $90? Well, here's why. Because you don't want your keys trapped in your car all weekend. And so Prime is going to be a little bit of a long wait, even at the expedient day shipping. You could probably even upgrade it to 1-day shipping. It's still a long time. And in probably a smart move from Amazon, they do not sell these products on Prime Now. I kind of feel like that's done to keep them out of trouble. As much as you might need it on Prime Now. Oh my God, would it have been great if we could have bought it on Prime Now? But we looked for it, not available on Prime Now. Which probably saves them at least one think piece. All right, that about wraps it up for us today. I want to thank our producers, the Bill, Dustin, BioCal, Robert H., Brian C., M., Trey the Melodica Man, Adam, Middle-Aged Mike, and Harry Lee Smith. You can email us, jurydaily@gmail.com, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat @Justin R. Young, and you can join our Discord at bit.ly/jurydiscord. I want to thank our main man, Sunbun, for giving us the Pothole Vigilantes story. I will keep on that. But friends, until next time, this is your old pal, Justin Robert Young, letting you know to please give a round of applause to Mr. Wacky. But more importantly, please don't. Please, won't somebody think of Mr. Wacky? Robert Young, letting you know to please give a round of applause to Mr. Wacky. But more importantly, please don't. Did I once leave my keys in the Go Game boss's car? I did not. I did something intensely stupider. What I did was me and the owner of the company were out on a Go Game in Seattle, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, it was my last Go Game. The last Go Game I was doing, I was hanging out with him. And I could not find my keys. We went and scouted the game zone, and then I could not find my keys. And so we looked all over the place. We were trying to scrounge and going, retracing our steps, doing all that shit, right? So we finally get back to the car and find that the keys are literally in the ignition. They are unlocked and in the ignition. No, I had turned off the car, but literally they were in the ignition. Somebody could have opened the car and just driven off with our rental car in Seattle if they wanted to, because I had left the keys unlocked in the ignition. And then parked it on street parking, by the way. Street parking in downtown Seattle. I mean, what was he going to do? Fire me? It's literally my last game. All right. That'll wrap it up here for the YouTube. Thank you guys for hanging out. I will see you tomorrow.